discuss diet, understanding diet from set diet to longevity. So, from set to longevity, overview of major dietary patterns globally, how nutrition impact on our disease, on our energy levels, and of course on our longevity, and on the way who we are. Lifestyle medicine and evidence-based medicine put the diets and nutrition as one of the biggest pattern, the biggest, I would say, biggest issue, I would say, worldwide, and then one of the most important things we want to start, because energy, mood, and life started from nutrition. We do need to eat. Gut microbiomes are for diversity and as well as predictor what's going on in terms of your health. And the diets also might be normal or therapeutical. Today we're going to focus on SAD, or Standard American Diet, Mediterranean, DASH, MIND, Keto, low carb, low sugar, paleo, and vegan and vegetarian diets. What is the difference between them? The role of diet and lifestyle medicine is key to prevent chronic disease. And of course, here we're talking about nearly all diseases, because if you have incorrect diet, not suitable for you, you probably will develop earlier or later some sort of chronic metabolic diseases. Nutrition density, what we eat in kilocalories, what we are taking, is slightly different. And I have some lectures already recorded on the way how much energy do you need and how many kilocalories do you need. But all that really depends on your metabolic rate, on your age, on the place where do you live. So many different factors involved. So that's why diet and nutrition, what do you eat, play even more than how many calories. Modern society really put in a lot of concentration in terms how many calories eat, and it's a huge mistake. We need to change mindset and need to understand we are what we eat, of course how much as well, but first of all what is in there. And impact on our microbiomes, because microbiomes is our antibiotics, they're therapeutics, they are antidepressants, they are our mood, then our well-being, and they will produce, or they're signaling to produce, everything what we need, majority of immune system, our cells, activation, and trying to balance all this stuff. So that's why we need to listen to God and have a knowledge, and sometimes look with science help what is inside our microbiomes. And of course, it's important of life stages adaptation. For women, will be, for example, pregnancy and lactation period. For the man, is a youth and older. For the man, for women, this of course as well. And what we offer as lifestyle medicine, we offer you evidence-based and information. So why we believe in lifestyle medicine is important, and of course individual approach and personalization here playing one of the biggest roles. There is no one specific food or diet suitable for us lifelong. We all might go move between diets for therapeutical needs and due to the life-changing needs. Okay, let's go a little bit into the history and where it comes to. And actually, lifestyle medicine didn't find out anything new. Everything is known for years ago. We just forget about it. And now we're creating this science, so many sciences, evidence-based. Sadly, real lifestyle medicine specialists died. They've been so old, and they follow this life and lifestyle without medicine, without going to the doctors, without so much science and technologies we have it now, but somehow we lost it and we forgot it. It's a time to remember. Let food be the medicine and medicine be the food. Hippocrates. So we know that the food is our medicine and medicine will be our food. we don't need really medicine. And it's Hippocrates. It's 650, 60 BC. Ludwig Andreas in Germany, Feuerbach said man is what he is. And now you probably hear more and more. He was a philosopher. He really trying to link between the person, your lifestyle, what do you eat, how do you spend your day, represent your personality. And there's so much in there. And in the 19th century, a lot of different European thinkers and philosophers trying to connect physiology and nutrition together. And that was fundamental for lifestyle medicine, really. And in 1956, already more in America, they're trying to revive and start this nutrition studies, nutrition science. Victor Lindlar published "You Are What You Eat," and that was a concept of modern nutrition science. He done so much work, the true work. However, he was missing information like microbiomes and other things. The science wasn't that advanced, but majority of his studies, his books, still popular, and they're coming back into approach. We are what we eat. We need to be mindful and know about the diets. So sadly, majority of us living nowadays by SAD diet, standard American diet, and it's very sad. Sad because we need to change it. It's high in refined carbs, it's high in sugar, in trans fat, and very low in fiber. And fiber is number one source for our microbiomes, who will eat and will benefit. They will protect us, create so many antibodies, anti-inflammatory properties, heart protections, etc. They cause metabolic inflammation and oxidative stress. Of course, sugar not helping here. They're destroying good bacteria and they're introducing bad bacteria. And then there's no sugar there because there's so many of them. They start to eat in gut. Different word, bad bacteria start to eat our mucus, and they start to destroy that. They start having leaky gut, and all toxic substances start to go to the bloodstream. It's not helping in terms of inflammation biomarkers, increasing obesity, diabetes, cardiovascular risk. It's everything I'm talking about, nearly every single lecture, that's caused by SAD. American diet. And of course there's a lot of nutrition elements missing, like magnesium crucial for physical activity, for the muscle development, fiber, omega-3, antioxidants, and of course we are getting into what we eat, into very sad human being full of anxiety, depression, and mental implications, mental problems. We not only proved a lot of papers, a lot of, I would say, longevity scientists prove that Mediterranean diet is the best so far for longevity. There is some concern in terms of alcohol because a lot animal fat in the diet, and however they drink wine, and wine, I would say, neutralize this, I would say, not very beneficial fats. And now scientists are trying to identify nutritionists how we can improve Mediterranean diet. In general, it's one of the best because it's rich of olive oil, vegetables, legumes, fish, and whole grains. It's improved gut microbiomes, and short chain fatty acids levels goes up, and we need this. And in terms of microbiome studies for the gut health, the most balanced and the best microbiomes suitable for the people following Mediterranean diet. If you want to start without investing a lot of money in a lot of different tests, try be on Mediterranean diet for a few months and then do your test. You'll probably start to feel much better already, because Mediterranean diet reduces cardiovascular disease, metabolic health getting improved, and neurodegenerative disease going to decline. Also, however, there is a possible deficiency of B12 and vitamin D, If you decide to eat less animal food, and here is really individual, how you respond to animal food, how your gut, how your microbiomes respond to animal meat and animal proteins, that will be the question, and you can alter your diet where it depends on that. But World Health Organization endorsed model of healthy aging is following Mediterranean diet. Second diet I want to talk about is a DASH diet. Is dietary approaches to stop hypertension, so high blood pressure. And here they mainly want to reduce sodium, rich in calcium, magnesium, potassium, and fiber. This diet will be much low in fat, diary, and more lean proteins, and rich in vegetables, and recommend also take some fruits. This diet reduce blood pressure and improve insulin sensitivity. That diet probably getting more from people in their 40s, and they start to notice or that blood pressure start to goes up because of amendments needed in lifestyle. So we need food changes, physical activity changes. It promotes beneficial gut flora because recommend more fiber intake and potassium, and excellent for adults. More, I would say, 40 plus. But again, if you have a high blood pressure age of 30 or 20, I feel sorry for you. So you have so many issues then to be sorted. Usually it's that sort of problems start to develop within the time of years of inadequate lifestyle. It's quite safe. It's quite a lifelong framework, so you can follow if you have issue as high blood pressure. Mind diet, mind. So you see, you can already think about why I called mind, because it's diet specially designed for the people to improve neurodegenerative delay. So you want to delay Alzheimer's or dementia. The people who approach and have a history of the parents of dementia or Alzheimer's, mind diet might be beneficial, and is Mediterranean DASH intervention. So they combine two diets together, and they notice that this actually diet one of the best for cognitive function. It's a hybrid, so we want to reduce sodium intake, and they use all the benefits from Mediterranean diet. It's focused on antioxidants like berries, different sort of greens, fish, olive oil, and nuts. Here we notice a lot of fish because this diet want omega-3, and omega-3 mainly comes from rich in fish products. Enhance gut-brain axis with polyphenols, so antioxidants like berries, like a darker color, anything like a dark, usually in terms of fruits, they will be quite rich in antioxidants. Talk about blackberries, blueberries, that sort of things, and any darker colors. Yeah, as this diet slow down cognitive decline. So if you're approaching getting older, or you're worried about your cognitive function, probably mind diet will be quite beneficial. Again, it's Mediterranean with a dash. So your blood pressure will be in control because you reduce your risk of stroke as well. You have very balanced profile, and of course here diet put quite a little bit of attention on omega-3 levels, and of course long-term neuroprotective lifestyle patterns. And again, we never cancel movement. We never cancel your positivity and your lifestyle a part of food. Nobody cancel your sleep patterns, your friendships, your relationships, your physical activity, and of course some sort of bad habits. So we need to follow them all. And ketogenic diet or keto diet. I talk a lot in my lectures about ketogenesis, about ketones, about flexibility, how we're going through glucose to ketones, because it's that important. And ketogenic diet designed to go in quite high level of ketones in your bloodstream. It might be a little bit extreme because we should produce these ketones already during the fasting, during the nighttime, or intermittent fasting, and levels ketones goes up, and our organism will let extra nourish in the body because the ketones already in the bloodstream. But this diet is a little bit more strict, a little bit more harsh, and they want these ketones to dominate sugar. So we don't want the sugar and glucose to be nearby. This might be good for your health occasionally, but in long run, I recommend you to be under healthcare professionals and the strict supervision and regular blood tests. Why? Because it's very high in fat and low in carb, in any carb. We're not talking about the sugar, forget about the sugar. We're talking even about broccoli or spinach, that sort of thing. This will be very low. This means your microbiomes might be a little bit suppressed. So they will be suppressed, not a little bit, if you stay in this diet quite a long period of the time. So concentration will be 70% fat, 20% of low carb, 20% like not sugary carbs, so it means low low sugar index carbs, and 20 proteins, I think, and 10% carbs. That's what there's a 70, 20, 10. So shift metabolism to ketone utilization. So as I said, we're trying to remove glucose, produce this glucose in the bloodstream, so you still have a glucose in the bloodstream, but we enhance ketones to be in the bloodstream and to be the key driver for energy. Is my reduced pathogenic bacteria, because again we quite reduce our dietary patterns. We review carbs, reducing carbs to absolute minimum, and of course lower your microbiomes general. So long term it might be not suitable for everyone. Here is important probably to check your genetic predisposition, how you respond, because every single event here is monitor your response to everything. To stress, we need to see what is our body response to specific diet. Is that suitable for you? Is that not? Because for somebody, ketogenic diet will be very good. They still keep very good diverse microbiomes because genetically this diet suits them. For others, it might be absolutely catastrophic. So please keep this in mind. And ketogenic diet, this is the third diet I would say. If you decide to stay for long term and want to follow being high in ketones, please make sure you cover it and you're under supervision, healthcare professionals. Risk, so very useful, first of all, for people suffering from epilepsy, for people who suffer from insulin resistance and obesity in a short run under supervision. There is a risk, as I said, is the deficiency in fiber, as a result, all the gastrointestinal issues. Also magnesium, because magnesium hard to get for everyone, but mainly coming from greener plants. If we reduce them, magnesium going down the hill, and we still need physical activity, and magnesium is very important, this transport, I would say, in this gate exchange, contraction of the muscle, and of course if we don't have it, other muscle will suffer. Selenium, vitamin C and vitamin B groups, again, they all come normally from carbs, and we limit them. The meat proteins we can get, but they're not enough, not that much, because again, here's mainly fat. We want the diet to be super fatty. So proteins and carbs are limited. It's not ideal for long run for children because they need to grow, and for grow they need sugar. And it's not ideal for elderly as well, and people with kidney disease. Low carb diet is moderate restrictions in the carbs. So I love the diet, and that works for people who really wants to lose weight, because is temporal restrictions in general in carbs is a second step, because my first step recommendation is just reduce the sugar, a low sugar diet, because I recommend to do it gradually. But if you suffer from insulin resistance or extra weight, or you want to bring yourself to the shape, low sugar first step and low carb diet is your second step. Why? So it's restrictions of carbs. In general, you take 50 to 130 grams per day with moderate fat and protein intake. So if you like a very soft ketogenic diet, very soft, you wouldn't have you're not into, you wouldn't go in this severe ketogenesis. But if you do intermittent fasting, then probably yes. And this is what we want, because we want to bring this flexibility. During the day, you're not in ketosis at all, but once you pass your 14, 16 hours, you notice that, oh, you're mild ketosis. And this is what we want. If you want to lose your weight, improve your general well-being, actually metabolism, to shift them, to be flexible, a low-carb diet is perfect choice. So what it does is lower postprandial glucose and insulin, because you simply eat much less carbs. It's promoting fat burning and fat oxidation, and of course is improving metabolic flexibility and improving your metabolic rate. Microbiomes reduce, of course, that here is very important, because again we're reducing carbs intake to have it really mindful. So include a fermented food like kefir, sauerkraut, because you eat them less, and low carbs, so be super low carb index vegetables. And probably this diet is quite a question about the fruits. I wouldn't recommend fruits in this diet, quite limited. Yes, something low glycemic index carbs. Yeah, so you can Google them, you can create your own low carb diet agenda, or a few weeks trial to see how you go with that. And as a result, of course, if you didn't manage to make it balance, you might notice as well reduction in microbiomes and some changes in microbiomes. So be mindful, and it's possible. Low carb diet is easy to do, easy to follow, and what is more very important is very good for your weight loss and insulin resistance. People with diabetes, pre-diabetic people, for weight loss treatment, for the mood and anxiety as well is very good. And yeah, so that's good one. Yeah. So, but also make sure you take extra magnesium. Magnesium good for everyone, regardless of the diet. I recommend to take different form of magnesium. I'm take magnesium glycinate for relaxation at night before I go to bed. You can take different forms of magnesium, depends on what your goal is, but I recommend it for everyone anyway. Mainly vitamin D as well. World Health Organization, we recommend for everyone from October till April. March, April, take vitamin D, at least 800 international units. Not a lot, but a little bit for sure. Doesn't matter. You don't know, you've never done your blood test. You will have a deficit. It's regardless of the diet, because it's winter, there is no sun, there's limitations, more darkness than the sun. And we all will be in deficit. We're talking about Europe region, or more standard Americans and the standard European people, because in the winter from October to March we need it. So magnesium, yes, and the vitamin D for sure. Omega-3 depends on your diet, if you eat fish or not. If you're absolutely vegetarian or vegan, for 100% as well, omega-3 is very important for you, because you won't be able to, from seaweed, it's quite hard to get the amount needed. So, and group vitamin B as well, B12, yeah, mainly for vegan as well. But it really depends how balanced you are. Low sugar diet. Low sugar diet, probably everyone, it should be basic for everyone. They should change it, because we're definitely eating too much sugar. World Health Organization recommends these 20-25 grams sugar a day. Average standard American diet is around 50. So it's double less. And that's already, it's not even diet, it's normal. This is how our life should be. But low sugar diet, we're talking about 10-15 grams of sugar per day. And when we refer to sugar, it's not carbs, yeah, because we're talking about direct sugar. We talk about honey, about the refined sugar. They put this in sugars when you read, how many sugars. They have carbs and they have a sugar. When you turn any leaflet or information, nutrition facts on any ingredients, so that you don't count carbs, you count these sugars, and it might be fructose, it's lactose. They're simple sugars, and they should not exceed 10-15 grams per day. and it's a great start for somebody who wants to lose weight. Yeah, what's that the first step before they go to low carb diet, because low carb diet a little bit even stricter, because we reduce much more vegetables. They given a lot much more restriction comparison to low sugar diet. And what you might notice just in low sugar diet, or even if you follow World Health Organization 20-25 grams sugar a day, you probably already start notice, probably start that. If you want to lose your weight and you have problems with that, just be mindful, do everything step by step. Low sugar diet, reduce glucose spikes, improve insulin resistance, and reducing hepatic fat, and reducing the systematic inflammation. Stabilizes well your mood, your anxiety, and you probably will start to feel more energized. So now moving to another paleo diet or caveman diet. Caveman, so something there a very long time ago where we used to live in the caves. Yes, we all genetically been from living in the caves long time ago. We don't remember, we lost this memory, but some genetics probably still remember the memory. In the cave man diet probably, or paleo diet, might be suitable for them. It really depends. What did you pick in your genes then when you're born, or even when you start in your life? You know, what's your genetic material, which genes are you picking there? So this mimicking hunting and gathering foods is a lot of meat, it's a lot of fish, some vegetables, nuts, you know, anything. When you are in the cave, probably freezing, probably with Nordic people, you know, when there was a lot of cold, nothing growing, or snow, what you can do and go and hunt and eat some rabbits or some animals or some nuts and mushrooms dried in the summertime, and people survived. You know, we did well. Depends on cavemen who come from Africa, and they can move to north, there is the snow, but we survived. And for some of them, for some of us, if you have very good genes, our microbiomes, and genetically might be very good, you know, you'll survive, you'll remember, but some not. Yeah, it's really. So this diet exclude vegetables because there's they've been hunters, they gathering here and there. So in legumes require actually already some sort of farming. You need to farm, you need to have a seed, so you need to be sit in the place. And if you go hunt around, you'll be quite limited. Yeah. And of course, this diet also reduces dairy because you're not milking your cows around, you just kill the cow and eat the meat, what left, and processed, clearly no processed food, because cavemen was no processed food. Lucky cavemen. It promotes gut integrity. It's a lower inflammation to start with, and moderate microbiome diversity. Benefits might be weight loss, glycemic control, and autoimmune modulation. Again, not for everyone. So that diet might be suitable for you genetically, and you have a lot of benefits because this diet is simply good for you. Or this diet might be absolutely not good for you because you have a different genes and you switched on pro-inflammation because it's still a low in vitamin D, a low in fiber, and lack of different some vitamin B group. It's good because you still eat this caveman stuff like dried mushrooms, nuts, you know, and something they can find because you're on the go. Yeah, these people, they are on the go, the diet like on the go. But short-term to medium-term benefits, yes, it might be good for you, but for long run diet is really individual, and I recommend here DNA test before you say, yeah, this diet is really good for me. Do a DNA test and see, are you sure? And then check your microbiomes to confirm, yeah, I'm absolutely fine, then carry on. Vegan diet. So it's opposite of caveman, is a vegan. So these people, this guy is just eating only fruits and vegetables. They don't eat meat at all. They're not cave. It's opposite of the cavemen who come in hunting, killing, mainly eating fish and meat, what they, you know, fighting over bees to get the honey or nuts and stuff from squirrels. So it's 100% biased and exclude anything, even no milk, no milking. These people just probably genetically coming from very good climate. There's a lot of fruits and vegetables all year long. You don't need to hunt like them. Of course, they all have very good microbiomes, yeah, because diversity is great. So you eat everything with green color or flowers, whatever, they probably digest them even better genetically. So, as a result, microbiomes, they have a quite good gut in these terms, quite diverse gut. But they have their own problems. They have associated with low LDL, low density lipoproteins. And here I want to mark that historically we thought, well, still a lot of debate of old school coming, is a bad cholesterol. But now I have more and more evidence that actually LDL is crucial for health and cardiovascular, and it's not that bad. It's bad if you bring the bad fat in there, because LDL is not very bad for, it's actually opposite. It's like a courier for all the fat important for cholesterol, things like different hormones, so many different activities. And if you have a low LDL, it actually give you more harm than benefits. And in the vegan diet, they limit probably this bad fat from animal source. And what is the story there? The membrane of the cells need this, how we call it, bad fat still. And if you don't have your cells walls, and the membrane is not that good quality, if you like, comparison with people who's a balanced ratio, high density, low density lipoproteins. They also risk of vitamin B12 deficiency. So that's why children who are growing, they might need to check out their zinc, your iron levels, calcium, and of course omega-3, because from seaweed, again, if you're vegetarian, you might be far away from the sea. Yeah, you might be in the Midland enjoying your flowers, eating fruits, vegetables, but you go far away from seaweed, and that's it, you're stuck, and you wouldn't have this omega-3. It'll be hard from the nuts. You can get them, of course, in different seeds. But it's very hard. So literally what you should do, just literally consume and eat all day long like a cow, so you won't be very productive in these terms. to keep your diet balanced is quite hard, but it's a quite implementation of different words. Vegan diet, again, not suitable for everyone. Because again, some people, if they decide to follow vegan diet, might do more harm, the same as paleo or caveman diet. So here is really important as well, probably worth to do DNA test to see your response to diet and see, is that suitable for you? How do you feel? How your organism responds to it? Because all that is such a general theory, but we all individual. And for somebody to be absolutely perfect, absolutely healthy, because from generation, when vegans, we live in this society and organism, microbiomes genetically already adapt to that. But for some people, there will be killing, and they should get out vegetarian or other diet. They need meat. Okay, vegetarian diet. Vegetarian diet is much better because they eat eggs and dairy, and that's it. They cover in the most important things. So yes, they don't eat meat, but they take all necessary proteins and amino acids, what they need just from eggs and from dairy. They eat cheese, they use milk products, and they support beneficial gut bacteria from the fiber rich in polyphenols. For some people, many of them getting GOTA, many American Lifestyle Medicine Society really promoting vegetarian diet for longevity. In Europe, British Society of Lifestyle Medicine, in European Lifestyle Medicine, because they're much more Nordic, they have we are a little bit more concerned. We are saying, we know, where in Europe you can't survive winter if you be vegetarian. It's hard for you. It is hard for vegetarian to be vegetarian in Nordic other countries. It's hard. Go to Iceland, go to Norway. You know, you just not growing enough, you know. You'll be definitely in deficit. It will be a hard job for you, and you definitely need to take a lot of supplementation extra. And I think it's not worth, you know, to sit for some pseudo benefits if you need to supplement extras. That means it's not full. It means it's not good. It's not right for you. If you need to all the time take supplements, that something is wrong in your diet. You need to change your lifestyle. You need to change your diet. But in general, is reducing chronic risk, of course, and supports weight management. But people actually vegetarian might use too much fruits, and it actually might be also suffer from diabetes. It really depends on your diet. Vegetarian might be as well. Really depends, you know, because it's a lot of sugar. They might consume too much fructose, and that might have a negative impact on insulin. So you need to be mindful. You need to look what you eat, and you need to still balance it. Vegetarian, yes, is much better than a vegan, and is better than, for example, caveman diet. However, we need to be mindful. In long run, if it's suitable for you, that might be quite good diet. So next is lion diet. So lion diet is not even caveman lion. Lion is like a lion, but eats only meat, salt, and water. That's extreme. I would say it's too extreme. We're not lions. We're closer to cavemen or vegetarian, depends where you come from. And these guys probably better, or vegans. I understand there's no cows that kind of milk it, or cavemen. So they're in opposite of each other. But lion diet, if you want, carnivore, elimination diet, whatever they call it, is just meat. And quite often it's just red meat. Might temporarily reduce autoimmune or gastrointensive symptoms. So if you have some sort of autoimmune disease, again, DNA test here is quite a good option. Highly recommended to see if it's suitable for you. And it's superly reduce your gut microbiomes, because you don't eat nuts, you don't eat mushrooms, you don't eat even this the caveman diet. You know, it was better than that in severe dysbiosis, and actually probably long run it will be a lot of problems in health. Might benefit from some sort of IBS in short term, but in the long term, without fiber, without vitamin C, without folates, magnesiums, phytonutrients, you will be literally under constant IV drip with and some sort of supplementations. But if you take right supplementations, it's all the time water point of your diet. Yeah, if you need to constantly take an extra to be healthy, because earlier or later that diet probably will have some sort of alarming calls that people don't expect. So that's why I would say you can try if you want to see in a very quite short period of the time, but I would be concerned, and it's not a better try caveman first and see how you benefit, because caveman, it will be like soft version of lion diet, and start with a smaller one, and you want to go extreme, well, we can't stop you, but not recommend to. You have to be mindful and responsible for your own actions. So that's why be wise and think twice. In terms of microbiomes in dietary diversity, of course, microbiomes is super important. It's our resilience, it's our metabolic health, it's our mood, and that's us. This is what's shaping us. And the fiber in polyphenols are main microbial fuels, so that's why polyphenols, green tea, matcha, different fibers, greenery, everything. Trying, I against to make too many smoothies in these terms, because fiber are great. It's like a food for the gut, and the gut is quite long, you know, it's quite a long chain. And if you leave it, if you chew and leave in big particles, it's more bacteria can eat and enjoy, because it's still peristaltic muscles, you know, they move it down. So bacteria, they usually, like a caveman, they stay in their own caves, they live there. Of course they move around, but they have their own They own territorial life, and this food just move around. Somebody eats it, it's going down. Somebody eats that more, and you know it go. But if you make a soup or you mash it and make it like a soupy like or as a smoothie like, it just gives less food, and as a result, it's less beneficial for the gut. Because from beginning, probably, a lot of bacteria will be eaten there, but might not leaving too much for further down gut. So better chew yourself. 30 times. Don't remember how many times we need to chew the food, but chewing is good. So ketogenetic and carnivore diets reduce diversity. Mediterranean, they actually helping with inulin resistant starches. The pectin is quite good. Postbiotics as well improve immunometabolic function. But here again, we need to be personalized. Every single diet individual, and we need to have individual approach and monitor what is your response. How do you feel with that diet? In terms of diets in the lifespan, children, they need energy, so we need calcium for the growth of the bones, and of course we do need glucose, we do need these sugars, and balanced Mediterranean ideal for them because rich in fruits, nuts, and children milder, having more fructose, to build up all the deposits and have enough of adequate amount of glucose. For adults, focus metabolic stability, so here anti-fermentary foods, still Mediterranean, but as well you might bring a little bit more dash. Depends where you're standing on what Mediterranean diet you're using, because Mediterranean, they're huge, it might be super unhealthy as well, because you just choose so unhealthy patterns and so unhealthy food. Because if you Google and say what are these Mediterranean people, there will be Algerian, Moroccans, there will be Spanish, there will be Italian, Greek, because the same Turkish, also Mediterranean diet, but not all of them will be good. So if you pick all the diets are quite not balanced, I would say, that will be probably not very beneficial, and you will need to make right amendments, and you might have as well some sort of metabolic issues. With pregnancy, no extreme diets at all. Just skip how it is, because your organism tell you what you need, what your baby needs, because so many processes going on. So just be mindful. Check your blood tests, and during lactation as well. There's you and baby connection. It's not only you, it's another life there, and they have their own DNA, have their own needs, and the mother and the child get connected. So here is no experiments at all. Aging, of course, with aging we want to preserve mass, muscle mass or protein, and physical activity. So gut diversity, because our bacteria, once we age, diversity comes down. So here is important as well to use different fibers as well, and proteins, and of course cognitive mind diet for cognitive protection might be good start point, because they actually using a Mediterranean and low sodium, and so good diet to prevent your cognitive function. And again, every single diet should be looked at on different factors: your location, your age, your physical activity, your needs, and your preferences. We only can advise you inside the Mediterranean diets and their alterations one's the best, but what you decide to do and what temporal and therapeutical methods you believe will be suitable for you will be only depends on your choices. Okay, a little bit of chronic conditions. If you suffer from some of chronic conditions, where to start? So for example, if you have a diabetes, low glycemic, a low carb, Mediterranean or DASH diet, they will be preferred, because all these diets will help improve your insulin response and reduce your insulin resistance. If you have hypertension, high blood pressure, DASH diet or plant forward or plant beneficial with low sodium intake, also beneficial for you. For obesity is, of course, the mindfulness what you eat, Mediterranean and short-term keto diet with supervision. If you have autoimmune anti-inflammatory disease and elimination, some sort of strong responses, Lion, Paleo, short-term might be also beneficial. But again, here, highly recommend you to do relevant tests of immunology and DNA to screen for a lot of things. If you have autoimmune issue, they're probably quite often they are genetics. And you need to exclude any possibilities. Cognitive decline, if you have a family history of cognitive decline, mind and Mediterranean diets here will go as priority. For cancer prevention is high in fiber and low in sugar, so low carb, low processed, any processed food, and antioxidant rich diet. So in terms of fiber, I discussed it so many times, and in terms of sugar, in terms of World Health Organization recommend to use around 20 to 25 grams of sugar is around 6 teaspoons. It's not a lot, 6 teaspoons, you know, they probably, majority of us drink much more. We need to look on fructose and hidden sugars, then the sauces in drinks and snacks are everywhere. So read the label, don't look on calories, see how many sugars in them. In fiber, again here we agree so low in fiber. Majority of us, we're not taking recommended. We need 20-30 grams of fiber per day. Ideally, for longevity, for benefits, 35-40 grams of fiber per day. And that's because we're a foundation of our immune system, our heart protection, so many things involved in the gut, brain, in dementia, cognitive function. Soluble fiber is the gut fuel. Insoluble is motility, again is mobility of your peristaltics. It prevents diabetes, prevents colon cancer, dyslipidemia as well. And the sources, so many different sources, the nuts, mushrooms, legumes, whole grains, vegetables, fruits, and you can combine them with hydration and of course with physical activity. So personalized nutrition and biomarkers testing is crucially important. I mentioned today genetics a lot because genetically we're all different, and what exactly you pick up, what genes you have is absolutely we don't know. We don't know. Even you don't know. Nobody knows. It will come even screen over genetic preposition. If scientists open more and more genetics, they know genetics only around 16 to 20%. However, if you want to use some sort of a critical or very harsh diet, like lion diet, for example, or caveman diet, ideally we want to see your genetic. If you have autoimmune responses to classic standard American diet, what we eat now, that is a good thing to start there. And of course microbiomes, and we know the microbiomes as well genetically. We have genetic already written down. Each microbiomes will be on the go, really. And here will be very hard to find them, and we all have different in diversity and concentration of them. But we can feed them a little bit, might grow, but then will go again. So it will be, it's not worth it. It's different words, it's genetics. Nutrigenomics and epigenetics effect as well. You can hike them, but epigenetics is early days so far, so we know we can change. It's like blueprints, genetics, and then switched on and switched off. And here is epigenetics, but it's early days yet to discuss and do this expensive test. If you have extra money and you want to boost science, if you like, you can do the test, but so far at the moment it's early stage. We can say you something, but again, next week will be absolutely different picture. The same as your gut microbiomes. Every single week you will change, and because really, how did you live your life? And this is what's all about epigenetics. Functional laboratories, biomarkers, they're super important. I recommend everyone to know or send it at least once a year. If you're in a very active, very specific diet, do it a little bit more often, depends how you feel, to see, to trace, to see response. Is glucose number one, ketones regular based, and of course lipid panel, micronutrients, of course your glucotype, where you stand in, what is your response to every single food, because that will give you so much information. Food intolerance, for example, if you know you intolerate something, don't eat that. You need to eliminate this, get out of your diet. It might be gluten, it might be so many different lactose. I don't know, it might be so many other things which you might be resistant to. Have intolerance, you simply stop eating that. That's it. There's no best advice than that. So personalized glucose monitoring and microbiome testing together, again, you can do that to monitor, and of course precision lifestyle medicine. So what is suitable directly for you, together with other pillars, together for sleep, physical activity, relationships, and your addictions. Transition and practical integration is the hardest, because it's a change of your life. It's not like I'm sitting in a diet, let me try Mediterranean diet, and let me try lifestyle medicine, what is all about. And if you just want to play, it's not beneficial. So you need to make gradual changes and change in your lifestyle. So it's not the diet. Usually people think, okay, I'm sitting in the diet, I lost this amount for, I don't know, for performance, for wedding, for some special event, and then they put on this weight back. And the weight loss, usually it's number one thing that people want to sit in a diet and choose a diet. They're absolutely happy with their lifestyle. The last thing what they want to do is to change their life. They enjoy the parties, they enjoy alcohol, they enjoy fun time, eating, gathering, going in restaurants, having fun, and they enjoy that. And the last thing that they want is to change that. But then they sit on the diet, they read something good diet for them, because you can lose weight, and they sit in this diet only for that purpose, but zero intention to change the lifestyle, because actually they're satisfied with everything. So that's why it's hard. And if you want to join lifestyle medicine, is a big changes in your life. Yeah, it'll be quite sad parties, not because of sad standard American diet, because you're not going to probably drink, you have a low carb diet, and there's a lot of carbs in alcohol, for example, as well. Okay, so do it gradually. Make sure you're ready for these changes. And the changes, it's a very big psychological process. Don't rush into some diets just because you want to try, or you want to look perfect for some specific event. It's more stress, it's more negative impact on you than benefits. I need to know that. That might be as well addiction in terms of you constantly want to try something new, a new diet, and you some sort of expert. Don't do that, because it's not beneficial for your health at all. So gradual changes, add colors, fiber, hydration, very important. It's not just restrictions. Yeah, it's changes. It's a big slow changes we need to do slowly, ideally, if you can't do it alone, because maybe it's very hard, it's not easy, it's really hard to do it alone. So that's why get more help as possible to plan your meals, to choose your plans for suitable for you, to know what's right for you, to support your sleep, your movement, your stress management. So just talk about it. You want to change your lifestyle, you're getting into that, meet new people, change your circle of your friends, because only if you do gradually go in there. For example, as I said, first of all, World Health Organization in terms of sugar, you just reducing your sugar to 20-25 grams a day. Then I'm going to low sugar. I even cut it more. So you sit 1 month for that, then another few months you low sugar diet, and then maybe 3-5 months you decide to stay low carb diet to see how you go, and then take your biomarkers before you start this journey, and after, for example, half a year and 7 months to see a result. Don't rush in the lab to do it every 10 days. Yes, changes already probably will be much faster than that. be patient. Yeah, don't abuse the system. Calm down. We know if you go and do right things gradually, you will get to the good results. That was for today. Thank you for listening, and I hope you learned something new and you're ready for the change. You are what you eat, and you be more mindful what you put in your mouth.